Police are investigating a claim that a pub landlady threw out a couple for kissing in public. The gay couple in question, Jonathan Williams and James Bull, say they were forced out of the London venue after a complaint from another customer. Well, in an interview for BBC Radio, Jonathan Williams denied they were doing anything offensive.
The kissing that we were doing, which admittedly might bother some people, but our hands were on the table. They weren't anywhere indecent. It wasn't anything that I would consider indecent. It was kissing on the lips without mouths opening.
So when do public displays of affection, gay or straight, go too far? We can discuss this with Paul Shetler, who's organised a protest scheduled to take place outside the John Snow pub later this evening, and Diana Mather, who runs a company that teaches rules on etiquette. Good afternoon to both of you. Paul, to you first, why do you feel so strongly about this that a protest is required?
Because I don't think there's anything wrong at all with kissing. In fact, I think kissing is a rather lovely thing. I'm actually rather surprised and shocked that somebody would call it obscene. It's rather insulting, to say the least. And because I really felt just how incredibly humiliated that couple must have been to be singled out that way and told that they're being affectionate, kissing on the lips was somehow obscene, when of course we see that all the time. As gay men, we see that all the time with heterosexuals in supermarkets, Burger Kings, on the subway, in the bus, in classrooms and places of work even. So I don't really understand the thinking there, and I felt that we had to do something about that. OK.
I'll come back to you on the likely effectiveness of that protest in a moment, but Diana, where does the etiquette rules, what do they tell us here?
Well, really, any sort of kissing that's going to be at all intimate is not a good thing in public. If you are offending other people, then obviously it's not good manners, and if it makes other people feel uncomfortable, perhaps it's better not to do it. But I have to take issue with the fact that it was a gay couple, because a lot of female couples are also asked to leave places if they show too much public affection. So I think if we can't keep our hands off each other, even though their hands are on the table, then I think we're better going home and doing that sort of thing, perhaps in the privacy of our own home. Then nobody can complain about anything. OK, I'll
come back to Paul in a second, because he's enjoying your answer. I think we can tell from the expression on his face. But is there anything, Diana, in your mind different here in the etiquette rules between gay and straight?
No, not really, actually. But I think that I think that most people are more perhaps surprised by people of the same sex kissing than they are of people different sexes kissing, and therefore you've just got to be a little bit sensitive.
Paul Shetler, is that not true?
No, I think it's actually one of the silliest things I've heard in quite a while. I think if we told people in the civil rights movement that they should just be more sensitive to the feelings of racists, and maybe they should just stay in the back of the bus, or if maybe Nelson Mandela decided he should be more sensitive to the feelings of Afrikaners and didn't push for equal rights. I mean, I don't really understand that kind of logic. It seems to be a sort of let's adopt a preemptive cringe, and then maybe people will treat us nice. No, what we're demanding and what we are going to take is our right as human beings to kiss, to show affection in public, just like anybody else does.
Okay,
and if people don't like it, that's really just too bad.
Let me bring Diana back in, because she was nodding her head just as you were smiling a moment ago.
Well, I think the thing is that it's unacceptable for anybody to show too much affection in public if it's going to upset other people. It doesn't matter what sex you are. And I think it's ridiculous to talk about civil rights. You know, just be sensitive to other people's feelings and nobody will complain.
Paul Shetler, let me ask you about this protest tonight. Clearly there are some people who have very strong views on either side of this debate, but there are others who are perhaps in the middle. They're not that fussed either way. Isn't the danger here that by staging a protest, and as I understand it, a sort of a kiss-in at this pub, that you might alienate some of the people who otherwise would have been on your side?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's actually rather it's actually rather funny. It's lighthearted. It's a rather joyous thing to do, to kiss another bloke for human rights. I mean, what could be wrong with that? I think anybody who's got a problem with that really has a bit of perhaps a, I really wouldn't even know what to say, how to address that. It seems silly.
Diana, it's just a display of affection at the end of the day, isn't it?
I would say just choose your venue. You know, if it's okay in some places, fine, but just be, just expect that if you are going to go ahead, show too much affection, then, and I'm really talking about tongues here, rather than just a peck on the cheek or the lips, then just be prepared for the outcome. That's the thing.
Splendid. What a nice way to end the conversation. Thank you both very much.